If you like Dusk Till Dawn, then you're probably going to hate this ghetto-fied shitty ripoff. We watched Cryptz. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me, he's back from his sabbatical, his hiatus, his journey to find himself. Aaron Southworth is back at the table with me. I lost that.
Journey to find myself.
I don't know.
Just across the river, baby. It's not like I went on like a spiritual quest like Kung Fu, you know?
Yes, you did.
Sure. Yes, I did. I did go on a spiritual quest to find myself. It was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Found myself. So I'm back.
Yeah, so he is back. I'm thrilled to have him, but shout out to Sarah Samples for filling in. She did awesome.
Thanks, Sarah.
Had a great. She awesome. Had a lot of fun with her. This week's movie. Before we get to it, a few things I want to mention. First of all, I want to remind you guys that we are still running our t-shirt sale on our website. So you can go to horriblehorrorpodcast.com, go to our merch page, and you can get one of our lovely t-shirts on sale right now for $14.99.
Yeah, limited run.
So enjoy those. Get them while you can. After that, let's move. Another thing I want to mention is we haven't mentioned in a while, but our Patreon page. Part of it reason it's because we don't really have a whole lot of.
We don't do shit for that.
We don't have a lot of perks or I guess pluses you would say, or tiers for it.
Well, and so what are we going to do?
Well, here's I'm actually going to throw it out to the listeners, to you loyal Moon Goons, the ones who listen. If you guys have any ideas of what you would like to see as far as Patreon rewards or tiers, let us know, and maybe we can work with you, and we can come up with something cool that works for everybody.
Help us help you.
Yeah, I know we all talk about bonus content, but and I'd like to do that. But that's just a matter of time right now. It just trying to find time to in our regular lives to do it all. But if there's other stuff you'd be interested in, like maybe picking a movie for a show, or I don't know, just throw out some ideas.
Let us know.
Throw out some ideas.
Do you want a shirt with such and such amount of money? Do you want to pick a movie? Do you want to call in? Do you want to we'll help us help you?
Yeah. So maybe we get make it better. Also, last thing is remind you guys that this year's March Madness tournament, our March Madness March Movie Madness.
That's the official title right there.
Yeah,
March Movie Madness. March movie. That's it.
That's
it. You know what we're talking about. It's coming back again, baby.
It's coming back.
It's our March Movie Madness. It's what it is. It's our tournament.
March Movie Madness Tournament of Awfulness, I think is what it is.
There we go. March Movie Madness, Horrible Horrors Tournament of Awfulness.
Something like that, yeah. So we will actually be look for our bonus content, our bonus episode, our bracketology bonus episode, where we will basically set up the bracket for this year. We'll go through all the episodes, we've done all the movies, and figure out which ones made the tournament, which one didn't, and we'll set up the bracket, and then we'll probably go through and kind of pick our winner. We'll go through the bracket, and we'll pick our winner and see,
we'll see how we did.
See how we do. Like we haven't done great in the past.
So I listened to last year's. I just listened to last year's.
Yes.
So in the final, we both had Lake Fear 2.
Did we?
And Krampus, the Christmas Devil.
I know. I picked Krampus to win.
As did I.
Yeah, and we were wrong.
But that guy, Lake Fear 2, made it to the finals.
Made it to I don't think we even had. I don't know whatever we put in the finals, but yeah.
It was Lake Fear 2 and Krampus Christmas. I just listened to it.
So Lake Fear 2 joined our previous winners of Alice in Murderland and I'll Always Know What You did last summer as our previous winners.
And Tara Baxter You.
Thank you, Tara Baxter You did. So we've done this 4 times now.
Yeah, baby.
Wow, this is our fourth.
This is our fourth one.
Wow,
we've been doing this a minute.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about doing maybe a you know what they do with like the college bracket? You know, you fill out your own brackets, and you say if you get, you know, the perfect bracket, you win something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys would be interested in that or not, but like if you guys want to play along, fill out a bracket, and you know, listen to the bracketology episode, the bonus episode. Fill out your bracket, and then like, you know, we'll maybe do like an email address, like send it to our email. And if you have the perfect bracket, maybe we'll send you like, you know, like a free shirt or
the closest one gets something.
Yeah, the closest one. Yeah, or if it's not perfect, the closest one will get something.
Yeah, and you know, this is something we can put on our Facebook page. You can put it on our Instagram page.
So if you think that's cool, you know, let us know. That'd be awesome. I think there's some. And remember you vote on our Instagram page. We'll talk more about our bracketology. So
listen to the other episode.
Make sure that checked it. That'll be coming out probably the same. That'll come out shortly after this one, or at the same time. It might be out by the time you're listening to this too. So who knows? Anyway, so let's move on to this actual movie. It's end of February, which is Black History Month. So we're going to close out that with a one of our urban movies, urban horror movies.
Yeah, it's an African American influenced movie. I mean, it's pretty much all African American actors and actresses.
Yes,
and we've done this in the past. We've done African American History Month movies. I don't think we did one last year.
We might have done one, but I don't know. Like last year, I
just looked.
Yeah, I don't think we did either.
No, but we've done Killjoy in the past. We've done Holla. We've done Trapdoor.
Holla 2, Trapdoor. Yeah, we've done a lot.
We've done a lot. Last year we missed it. This year we still want to pay homage to Black History Month. So we did Cryptz.
Cryptz. So this movie was released straight to video on May 5th of 2002. It's written by Scott Phillips. Oh, I should mention it's a full moon movie, so that should say a lot of it right there.
Yeah, full moon in production with some other entity.
Yeah, and some other it was.
I forgot the name of the studio, but it was another studio, and I was like, huh.
Yeah,
that's a little different.
Yeah, it was like Dead something, I think. I don't know. Written by Scott Phillips and directed by our old pal Danny Draven. Who's got 22 directing credits, and you last saw him here on our show back in October, this past October, because he directed Dark Walker. But he's also directed movies as Deathbed, Hell Asylum. He also did a documentary on the making of Stitches, which was our very first episode.
He did a documentary on Stitches?
Apparently, yeah. The making of Stitches is on his resume.
Weird. I like Stitches.
And he got 76 credits as a producer, including the entire Evil Bong series, the Ginger Dead Man series, which we did the first one of that a long time ago.
Yeah.
One of our personal favorites, Killer Eye Halloween Haunt. He was a producer on.
Booyah.
He did several of the Puppet Master movies, the later ones. And he also did Strippers vs. Zombies, a.k.a. Zombie Decadence, which is a personal favorite of our friend Chris Samples. And he did also produce Killjoy 3 and 4, which we almost did Killjoy 2 instead of Cryptz this year. But it kind of came down to those two, and I just went with Cryptz.
So how did Cryptz win?
You want the honest answer is...
Yeah, give me the honest answer.
It was about 15 minutes shorter of a movie, so it didn't take as much time to get through.
This movie is kind of short.
Which I wasted so much because I watched, in preparation of trying to figure out what movie we're going to do for Black History Month, I watched Killjoy 3, 4, and 5. Watched all those. And Cryptz, which I watched last year. And I watched Killjoy 2 last year as well. But, man, Killjoy, those movies are just horrendous. Just really awful. And the weird thing about Killjoy is it follows the same path as the Puppet Master series did for me. Like when I was a kid, I loved the original. Like the first two Puppet Masters, I really liked them as a kid.
Scared me. Yeah,
they were cool.
Well, I was pretty young too when I was watching.
We were really young. But at that point, the puppets were the bad guys.
Yes.
But then as they kept making more and more, the puppets became
kind of the anti-hero, if you will.
Yeah, they became like Avengers. You know, like they would not like Captain America, Puppet Avengers.
Puppet Masters assemble.
Yeah, but like they kill bad people now. They were the good guys. Well, that kind of came thing with Killjoy. Like he went from being the bad guy killing people, and then like he becomes like the anti-hero protagonist that you're almost
rooting for.
He's still like the asshole killer demon, but he's like the good guy of these movies, and not like the characters he's pursuing or hunting. And like, okay, I'm done. Once that happens, once the villain becomes the good guy in a horror movie, I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
The series has jumped the shark. It's no longer what it used to be.
I feel like Leprechaun kind of did that too.
Yeah, that's another great example. Leprechaun, did the same thing. So anyway, the cast. Our main character, Times Square, is played. It's an urban movie, and they're all a group of rappers, so they have retarded names, also misspelled.
But they joke about it, which I love. I kind of love that. But anyway, go ahead.
But of course, they're spelled all ghetto-fied. He's played by Troy Skinner. He's got 31 credits, including Killjoy 2. Like I said, which we almost did that. Then Fuzzy Down is played by Rick Irving. He's got 26 credits. He was also, this is his second appearance on our show because he was
Really?
last seen in Dark Walker where he played BJ, the black guy.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
Yep, he was in Dark Walker. And then Aaron spilling beer.
I got a beer issue.
Got a beer volcano going on over here.
We're good.
The naughty waitress, that's all she's basically known as, is played by Olympia Fernandez. She was also in Killjoy 2. And last I'm going to mention is the guy named Truck. That's his character name, played by Andrew McCoy, a.k.a. China.
Yeah.
Not obviously not the China from WWE.
Hey, although it's spelled like that.
It is spelled the exact same way with
know.
the Y.
It's like, dude, if you're going to go China, you got to spell it a different way. Because
yeah, don't spell it like the female
if
wrestler.
anyone's going to look it up, you're fucked. It's
Yeah.
going to be nothing but China
Exactly.
from
When you see
WWF.
China, like that's the first thing I'm thinking of is the
You're going to have to type in China, black guy.
Yeah. But he's mostly a stuntman. Lots of stunt work. He did stunts in all the Matrix movies. He was the Lawrence Fishburne Morpheus stunt double, which
cool.
that's kind of cool.
Well, he's jacked.
He is pretty jacked. He was in Jet Li's The One, that movie. He was in one of the Universal Soldier sequels. He was also did stunts in Mortal Kombat. And he was also in film shorts of G.I. Joe and Star Wars. And in G.I. Joe, he played Snake Eyes in a short or something.
Dude, it's so funny when you said Mortal Kombat, because when I was watching this movie, I was like, oh, they just got a Mortal Kombat background character who plays the role. And I was right!
Yeah. Yeah, he did stunts in Mortal Kombat.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So, all right, that's it. Let's move on. Let's break open this crypt and go
let's
crypt diving.
pay homage to our African-American brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And watch Cryptz.
With Cryptz.
We should probably actually have a black guest on sometime.
We don't
know.
know any right now.
We don't know any black
We're
people.
so white. But yeah, we just don't really yeah. Anyway, so we open with this random black guy running from something on a rooftop. He quickly gets overtaken and killed by a lady vampire.
Yeah, it's like a POV shot coming at him. They cut back and there's this I guess quote unquote vampire lady.
Yeah, vampire lady.
And just tears him apart.
Yeah, she doesn't even bite his neck. She just kills him by slashing with her fingernails.
Tears him up.
Yeah.
It's not bad. There's a lot of blood flashes, and I understand it's a low budget movie.
Yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job of flashing between the him screaming, her hands, blood flying everywhere. Obviously,
It's real fast editing.
It's very fast editing, but I think they still did a good job for low budget.
Okay. So as soon as he dies, we roll the title card and the opening credits, which in my opinion are ridiculously long and really awful.
Holy
They seem to
shit.
last forever.
I timed it.
Did you?
3 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. And for the first 3 or 4, for the first 2.5 minutes, it's just a red background.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the very last part of it, it goes into basically a Doom video game type of sequence.
Yeah.
Doom or Wolfenstein 3D of going through these shitty computer graphic hallways and laughing skulls, and you turn a corner. It feels like you're going through a Doom or Wolfenstein 3D video game.
It was really the laughing skull. It's like the first generation CD-ROM game.
Yes,
where they first started, hey, look what we can do on a CD-ROM
and
now.
it's like.
Kids, look it up.
The only reason we're mentioning this is because it's so long.
It is. It's so long. And 3 minutes, in no time. Oh, 3 minutes is that long. But in movie time, when you're watching it, it's like
when you're just watching words on the screen for 3 straight minutes.
Yeah, because there's nothing it's not like the credits are playing over any action or anything. It's just going on and on. The music is awful. It's just Jesus, just end this shit already. Anyway, so once they're finally over, we meet our main guy, Randall Davis, aka Times Square.
Times Square.
Spelled TYMEZ Times Square SKWAIR. So yeah,
there's an I in there.
Yeah, I got an I in there. He's getting woken up by his angry mama, who's giving him the business for being lazy and unemployed. She yells
He's sleeping until noon.
Sleeping until noon.
Come on, get up and make a man of yourself.
She yells about getting a job, but he keeps saying that his rap group is this job, and they're gonna blow up and be the next big thing. And mom just ain't having it. And the mom is honestly probably the best actor in this whole movie.
Agreed.
But she's got 2 small scenes in the whole thing.
She's pretty good. Well, it's not hard to play an angry mom. I mean,
I guess not.
Yeah.
But still, time he gets up.
Never mind. No.
Okay. All right. So Time gets up, goes to meet his homies, while the shitty rap music plays. The music is atrocious in this movie. It's so bad.
So yeah, he goes to meet his homeboys, Licorice and Fuzzy
Down.
Fuzzy Down. but they are an aspiring rap group, as we mentioned before. They're gonna be they're gonna be a rap group. They're gonna be huge. They're like the new Wu-Tang.
Exactly. That's exactly what they say. We're
like
gonna be
that.
big. We're gonna be the next Wu-Tang.
But there's hardly any rap music in this
There
movie.
really isn't.
There's hardly any rap
They
at
don't.
all.
I don't think they rap. Like Fuzzy tries to rap like he raps like 2 lines.
He freestyles
for like 2 lines, and then
Yeah.
they end it. But other than that, there is 0 rap except for like some like the background music. But again, and it's shitty rap. It's
even the background
awful.
music isn't even rap. It's just like beats.
Yeah.
And we'll get to it later. But man, for a rap group and a movie that's a black history, black cast, about a rap group, you think there'd be some rap?
Yeah. No, not really.
Forget about that. I gotta sneeze.
Okay. Okay. And of course,
alarm,
licorice
apparently.
is also spelled all ghetto-rific. It's awful. And you only know that just because I watch these with the subtitles on, so they try to spell it up, and it's bad. So anyway, they head off down the street or down the sidewalk, and they instantly run into Stasia, I think her name. Stasia, who's coming down the sidewalk towards them. Now, Stasia is supposed to be this knockout, over-the-top, super hot chick. She has a great bite and all, and I'll give her that. But the guy's like basically just instantly like just jaw-dropping, trying to hit on her and trying to mack her out.
To be perfectly honest, I'm not surprised considering what she's walking on the streets in.
She's walking like the tightest little booty shorts.
The
and
tiniest little booty
and
shorts.
like an itty-bitty like cut-off t-shirt that is
it basically just covers her tits.
it just covers her tits. You got there's like bottom boob hanging out and like the cleavage is busting out
with high heels, like
yeah.
3-inch high stiletto heels.
Basically, nobody would ever walk down the sidewalk like this at all.
No,
nobody would walk. This like if you wear this shit, you wear this either like in your own house as like sexy time, or like. Or you're basically working at a strip club in this, but when you work, you don't leave the strip club wearing this shit. You don't walk your strip club in this shit.
You have your slippers on, your sweatpants. You got your oversized shirt.
Unless you're like a literal streetwalker, hooker on this, then maybe you wear. But nobody wears this type of this outfit just out and about to go get groceries.
Hair's
or
all done, makeup on.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And
they just go crazy.
Yeah, just absolutely crazy. She tells him she works at this place called Cryptz, which is, again, on her shirt. She shoots down all their advances, but she does give Times a little pinch on the cheek, telling him that, hey, come see me at work sometime, but you won't find it in the phone book.
And as he's pinching the cheek, you hear...
Yeah, you hear a sizzling sound. She walks away, leaving the guys behind looking like fucking children, making these cartoonish faces for, like... just because she's of her sheer hotness.
It's like,
yeah, it's the old cartoon.
It's very
antics.
cartoony.
It's ridiculous. You cut to the guys at Fuzzy's house now. They're talking about Stasia and trying to look up Cryptz in the phone book.
Which is funny because she does mention, you're not going to find this in the phone book.
Yeah, exactly.
And they seem to get a kick out of this because they start looking in the phone book like maybe she was trying to throw us off the scent.
Yeah.
But they do have pretty good banter explaining it back and forth.
Are you serious? Because I thought this scene was so boring. It just filled with...
It went on way too long.
It's so long. It's just them basically... I don't even know if it's scripted, but they're just talking back and forth. And there's so much cursing. Like, they curse just... It's like, motherfucker, fucking motherfucker. Like, every other word is that for like in these scenes.
It seemed to come out most out of Times Square. So Times Square seems to be like... Mo and Fuzzy's very Larry.
I actually said in my notes.
So Three Stooges.
My very next note they're pretty much the Black Three Stooges.
Yes.
Right there in my notes.
Yes.
You can see it.
It's so Three Stooges. It's crazy. There's a scene where he slaps Fuzzy.
Yes.
And goes, give it to
Yeah, he slaps Fuzzy, so Fuzzy slaps Licorice.
Yeah.
And
it's like, wise guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so Three Stooges. So Three Stooges. It's nuts.
And it's not even done right. It's just so annoying. I hated all of it. And to me, of the three of them, Licorice is by far the worst of the three of them, in my opinion.
Oh, you mean Chris Tucker wannabe?
Thank you! God, did you read my notes before?
Oh, it's so obvious!
I know I have it here. Oh, it's actually my hair. Annoying Chris Tucker went back when Chris Tucker was actually a thing. Yeah. Literally, those are my last 2 notes. Three Stooges, Chris Tucker, back to back.
Dude, it's like they just took Chris Tucker out of Friday and just put him in this movie.
Yes, exactly.
He's got the same. I mean, the voice. He does the voice so good.
Yeah,
the inflection.
He's just ripping off Chris Tucker.
It's
100%.
It's
he's
so
even like dressed like he's wearing like that giant oversized like denim, like dark denim jacket. Like almost looks like something you'd see in a prison. But
even his mannerisms,
yeah.
all of his mannerisms, the quick like movements. Like it's It's so
like
Chris
you're just
Tucker.
waiting to hear him say, "Man, don't ever mess with another black man's radio."
Or just be like, and you know this, man.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Right. It's just short of that.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just short of that. It's so he's biting to Chris Tucker so hard.
Oh yeah.
It's
Chris
awful.
Tucker should be suing for like,
No shit.
for like image or something like that.
Right.
Like you're.
Copyright infringement. I don't know.
I mean, come on, it's Chris Tucker. He probably wasn't doing shit. He probably could have gotten Chris Tucker to be in this fucking movie.
Yeah, at that time he wasn't because he was.
I don't know. In 2002, actually, that's like wasn't that like Rush Hour?
That's when he was in Rush Hour. But he took a long fucking. He like became
or
became
Fifth Element was before that, I think.
Yeah, Fifth Element was
before.
in the 90s.
Yeah, that's a great movie though. I like
Chris Tucker. Fantastic, and he was good in that.
Yeah,
but Chris Tucker, like he fell off. He went
after like the Rush Hour 1 and 2. Like
he
that was
fell
it.
off.
That was it. He was done as far as I know.
Well, he came back for Rush Hour 3.
They made a third one?
Yes.
Oh Jesus! Of course he came back in. They ain't doing shit after.
But it was like a long gap between. There was a long gap. He became like a Jehovah's Witness. He found God.
So he probably could have been. They could have probably got him in this movie.
No, he wouldn't have done it. If you said a bad word, he wasn't going to do it. He was really hardcore for a while. Yeah.
Really, this guy was cursing. Like his whole movie career is based on.
I
him
know.
cursing.
That's why it's such a disappointment because Chris Tucker was on fire. And then he just said, "Nah, I found God."
Jesus.
Like in a horrible way. Later,
Dave
y'all.
Chappelle, when he went off to find himself, came back and still was like just as good.
Dave Chappelle just wanted to get away.
Yeah.
He didn't care about God or any of that bullshit.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus. Anyway, so
we went off on a tirade there.
they don't find the place in the phone book, and then so Fuzzy comes with the idea of calling Truck and asking him if he knows where this place is.
Let's call Truck.
And Truck is supposed to be this creepy, mysterious guy that everybody knows in the hood.
He's into the underground scene.
He's into voodoo and Satanism, according to Fuzzy and our group. And everyone in the hood's kind of afraid of this guy, and he knows supposed to know all about the underground city scene, or the city underground. So Times calls Truck, interrupting Truck's meditation. And apparently Truck also seems to have some kind of minor psychic powers too, because he always seems to know why Times is calling or what Times is going to say ahead of time. Like he's always like one step ahead. It's weird.
I didn't quite get that. What I got was he had caller ID. Because he would answer the phone and go, Times Square, what can I do for you? He's like, damn, that's freaky.
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, he probably just looked at his phone. It's like, Times Square is calling.
You know, his phone ain't got card. Did you see the stuff when he was on? It's like, it's supposed to pull up antenna, man.
Maybe he had a fancy one. Who knows? Maybe he just memorized the number.
But there's stuff later, like the second conversation is like, oh,
they do kind of allude that he's
a weird.
When they show him answering the phone, he's meditating in an empty room with
big
candles.
Empty, he's surrounded like black, like candles, big empty black room.
It kind of looked like something out of the Golden Child, if you remember that movie.
Yeah, vaguely.
You know, but just like a stripped down version. Yeah. But yeah, it was just kind of he's very much into the Orient or the mystical thing.
You don't even get Orient at this point. At this point, it's still
except for his fucking back tattoos.
It's just weird. Yeah, cryptic voodoo shit. That's what we're supposed to believe anyway. He's this mysterious guy. So anyway, Times asks him if he knows where Cryptz is, and as soon as Truck hears the word Cryptz, he's like, I'm hanging up. I'm like, we're not dealing with this. But Times, he stops him. He's like, hey, I really want to see this girl again. She's, she's all that, and like, she could be my, the one. She's like, he's in love with her. And Truck is like, it's like, hey, Times, did she touch you? And Times like, yes, she touched me. So Truck tells Times that he won't need him to tell him where Cryptz is, but he better get Fuzzy and Licorice to tie him down to the bed tonight and forget about this girl.
Tie him down to the bed. He's like, hey, she touched you. Okay, you need to have Licorice and Fuzzy tie you to the bed tonight. Tie you down before sundown.
Yeah.
Make sure this happens. He's very adamant about this.
Yeah.
And Times Square is like, what up? Yeah, okay. He's like rolling his eyes.
Well, it's all that. He's also whispering, kind of like relaying this to Fuzzy. And then this kicks off like some really homophobic bullshit about having two men tying another man down to a bed.
Yeah,
like, I ain't doing that, man. I ain't no fag or shit like that.
This is early 2000s, so it's a little bit before. I think this is before gay marriage was legalized, so it was still very,
But still, I mean, I get 2002. It's not.
It was easier to say fag.
Yeah,
not as easy, but
that's what they do. Like they're like, I ain't tying you down to no bed for even for it's your own good. Fuck that. I ain't gay.
Yeah.
Like he's not saying you have to make it time to the bed and fuck him. You just have to tie him to the bed and leave. You leave.
Yeah. Tie him to a chair. Who cares? Tie him up.
Yeah.
Throw him in the basement.
So Anyway, Truck warns Times again about the whole thing, and then he just hangs up. We cut to some other...
No, he does say, this does come back. He says, call me, once you're tied down,
call me,
give me a call, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah. You're right. He does say that. So we cut to some other random dude handcuffed to some pipes in a dark room. The door opens, and we get introduced to one of the other movie's other main characters, which is the backlit indoor fog, is one of the main characters of this movie, because this movie is filled with that shit. So we get this woman wearing the sheer lingerie or dress or something appears in the backlit fog, and she starts doing some little dance or something, and she stands there dancing again. It seems like a long time. It's probably 30-40 seconds, but it just seems like she's just standing there dancing. Why is she just standing in its doorway dancing? But then she finally just turns into a vampire and kills this poor schmo by biting him in the neck, and he's dead.
I don't remember that scene at all.
You don't remember that scene?
No. I'm totally drawing a blank.
Weird. It was there.
That's how meaningless thing it was.
Yeah, meaningless. It really is. But so we cut back to our urban stooges sitting around watching a movie. Which I'm sure is another full moon movie, because that's what they do every time there's somebody watching a movie in a full moon movie. That movie they're watching is a full moon movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one it was, but I was trying to pick up on it. But my guess is it's either Ooga Booga or this movie called Ragdoll, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're both urban horror movies about a doll coming to life. So, anyway, so they talk about what Truck said and how he's Times he's gotten in my head now. I can't get what he's saying on my head. What's it?
But Times is starting to freak out.
Yeah,
he's starting to freak out. He's pacing. He's walking around. He's he's like, walk, tie me down the bed, guys. I don't
think he's even walking. I think he's just sitting in a chair.
Yeah, but he's
the whole time.
You can tell he's a little tense, and he's like, hey guys, come on, tie me to the chair. And they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. That's stupid. It's dumb. We're not gonna worry about that.
So time passes, and then Times has fallen asleep in a chair as time passes. He's jolted awake by the shearing, burning pain coming from his cheek. He just runs out of the apartment screaming. The others run after him,
screaming. He's like, it hurts so bad. And he starts running, and
and they load up into they go down to the parking garage, and they load up into their SUV, and they haul ass out of the parking garage. And the pain is now this burning pain in his cheek is now acting like a magical GPS.
It's basically, and that's something Truck kind of alluded to. He goes, well, if she touched you, you'll find out where it is. That's why we need to tie you down. So basically what we were told is, what I took. Okay. I don't know if you took this.
Okay.
Is the pain was hurting so much. It was so searing. My take was the pain subsided the closer they got.
Oh yeah, that's Cryptz. Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's what you get. I mean that's what I got to.
So he's like, turn here, turn left, keep going straight, turn here. So
like I said, like a magical GPS type thing. So and it leads them straight to Cryptz. But the driving scene is still again with nothing but screaming and cursing. It's really annoying and obnoxious.
They try to do some jokes in there.
They try, but it's just it's lost because one, it's poorly written, or if it's even written off, it's just trying to ad lib it. But it's just so much screaming and cursing. It's just everything's lost. It's just an annoying scene. They end up on this rooftop where they find these double metal doors.
Yeah, they pull over. They all run out of the car, leaving the doors open. Which that's weird.
In Compton or something like that. And who knows where they are?
They run up the. They
ain't getting that car back.
They scurry up a ladder. Or
they go
stairs.
I think it was like a fire escape.
Yeah, they run up a fire escape and they're just on this roof and
they start banging on this metal door, and which causes the bouncer Buffalo to answer,
fitting name.
Yeah. Who forces them inside and pushes them into another doorway that leads to the stairs that lead down to this club. Now, hold on. We're going to talk about Buffalo. I know you want to.
Good.
Because Buffalo is a very, very large man. But at the same time, I don't think he's that intimidating because he's just a giant fat guy who can barely even cross his arms.
I don't know, man. Some of those he's so big. He's basically a barricade. Yeah. A human barricade. I've always wondered why they haven't put guys like this in goal in hockey. Because he's so gigantic.
Because they can't move.
But he doesn't have to. He's so wide, so big. And yeah, you're right. He can barely fold his arms in front of him. But he's still got big fucking arms.
I don't know how big he's he's just fat to me.
It's like the way I took Buffalo is the same way I look at sumo wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers are big, they look just giant and fat. But when you actually kind of look a little closer, there's a lot of muscle underneath that fat.
Maybe, but
and that's the way I kind of look at Buffalo. Now, of course, he's not in a fucking diaper,
No.
so you can't see it. But if you look at his arms have some muscle to them.
I guess, but it's like I just like, to me, bounces like that. I just like, okay, you're a big guy. What would he do? Like you're gonna be so damn slow. I could get away.
Sure, but
you can't do anything
for crowd control. They're not bad guys because they can just run into a crowd and push people out. And 1-on-1, yeah, I wouldn't want to fuck with him. You know, if
all I gotta do is like lightly jog away. He ain't gonna catch you.
Yeah, you're right, and that's his job. If he wants you gone, he can make you leave. You know.
All right.
I see you rolling your eyes, but it would be effective. But anyway, yeah, it's funny because when they get to the door, he goes, "You guys 21?"
Yeah. It's like, what? I thought, yeah, that's a great point. Like, really?
What?
You know, like we know that he's in on what this place is. He's like, "You 21?" Like, what?
It was so stupid.
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
The magical
It's like
mystery
this
like,
underground
club, like, "You 21?
You
We got ID.
21?
We got ID, man. We got ID. We don't want to lose our liquor license, man. We got our ID."
It's so dumb.
Yeah, I agree. It was really dumb. So they go down this stairway and they find themselves in quite possibly the world's worst strip club. Seriously, this place is a fucking joke. It looks.
And again, this is one of those moments where rap music should be playing.
Should be, yes.
But nope, it's like shitty EDM or
Yeah.
like club music.
Is it even? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or like I know we also get some really really bad like R&B later too. It might have been R&B music playing too. I'm not sure.
No, it was early 2000s
You're right. This
techno.
should be like
Yeah.
some at least some kind of hip hop or playing something, but it's
Right.
not.
Because they're a rap group.
Yeah.
It's all black guys that are like at a black strip club. They're gonna be rappers.
There's like I think 2 white people in this entire movie.
Yeah, one of them's a DJ. One of them's a DJ.
And the
he's
bartender.
and he's so gothy. He looks goth the
Yeah.
fuck out.
Yeah.
It's really, is this guy going to be in the black
Exactly.
strip
It's like
club?
really the black. I mean, I get it's supposed to be like voodoo, vampire, guys, mystery stuff, but so the goth guy would fit it. But you're in an urban. It's an urban
Yeah.
black strip club. The goth guy would not be there.
And it's okay if it's a white guy. I don't care if it's a white guy, but he's
But not
fucking
goth.
The
And if you want to make a white guy, make him like the old Spoda or the quote unquote
the
wigger,
urban-minded white guy.
The urban-minded white guy. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, anyway, like I said, this strip club looks like someone just decided to one day turn their crappy, dirty basement into a strip club.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It looks like, do you remember Zombie Decadence?
Yeah.
Like, we were like, oh, it's kind of a, it looks like a shitty strip club.
Yeah, but
But
at least
this
it looked
place-
like a strip club at
Yeah,
least, though.
it looked
This
like
is just
it looked
someone's
like a shitty strip
basement.
club. This looks like someone's basement.
It does, yeah. It's awful. Like if I saw that, I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm not staying here. No way. There's only one stripper, one waitress, and the bartender who looks like a young Ozzy Osbourne ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
The stripper is on stage for like 30 minutes. She's like, just her dance
She
never
is
ends.
working for those dollars. Oh my god.
And Licorice starts hitting on the waitress immediately. And to my surprise, I don't think these fucking stooges could get any more annoying, but boy, was I fucking wrong here. Because this entire time they're in this strip club, they turn into fucking cartoon kids again.
Yeah.
Like they've never seen a woman before.
It reminded me of Warner Brothers, old Warner Brothers
Yeah.
cartoon, when like a cartoon wolf would be like, ow! Like
They
stomping on the
they're
ground.
literally
their
howling.
eyes coming out of their head going, auga! You know, like
hitting themselves over the head with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like, hoo, 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 hoo.
yeah, they're just like absolutely blown. They were literally doing that.
Yeah, literally.
As much as they could.
And
Everyone else in the club
is just chilling.
Chilling.
Yeah.
There's
sitting
there's
there.
other patrons.
There's a few other,
chilling.
yes. And yeah, but it's
like acting like you would at a strip club.
Yeah, and these asshole idiots are just. It makes me hate this movie so much more because, like, really, who acts like this?
Well, I was embarrassed for them.
That too, but like, if you're supposed to be like, oh, we're gonna be like the big rappers, like, DMX ain't going to a strip club and acting like this. You know, he ain't doing that.
Ja Rule ain't acting like
he ain't
this.
act like that. No, like,
Because I love how they did reference DMX, they did reference Ja Rule, they did reference Jay-Z, they did reference Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
All these
all
guys.
these people, none of them are gonna act like this shit at all.
No, they're going to act like they own the club.
Yeah.
When they walk in, they basically are going to act like they own the club. These guys are
You know who
acting-
might act like that in a strip club? Fresh Prince when he was,
Carlton and Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince may have acted like that in a strip club. Ski Low may have acted like that in a strip club. If he would have met the height requirements to get in. Because we all know he wished to be a little bit taller.
Yes.
Anyway, so Times, he's about to call a truck back, like you mentioned earlier. He's like, I got to call and check in.
Truck.
But as soon as he's about to, up comes Stasia, who was like, hey, let's go have a private dance. So, of course, Times is like, fuck truck. And he jumps at that offer and was like, oh, hold on there, honey. I have to go, get the VIP room ready or
she's like, come to the VIP room in 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And Truck's like, Times Square is like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll meet you there.
So Times, he doesn't get up. He goes to the bathroom to call Truck back.
He's gonna call Truck.
Now Truck is in the middle of like some kind of Tai Chi martial arts routine mixed with like some slow motion backflipping and breakdancing going on.
Yeah, and this is where I was like, okay, this guy's got. This is where you see him with his shirt off. He is jacked.
He is.
The guy is like ripped, and he's doing backflips and like Marshall said, like Tai Chi kind of movements. You can tell he probably has he's
definitely in martial arts because he does. I mean, he's a stuntman. He like I said, he was in Mortal Kombat. He does the Morpheus.
This guy looks
Matrix
legit
stuff.
because it's like, okay, cool, good for him. But they kind of focus on this a little too
long. And it's just funny. Like I get the Tai Chi martial arts, the stances, the movements, whatever you call that, the routines. But then when he does the backflip, it's weird because then he goes into what looks like he's about to like a spinneroonie. Like he starts like a breakdancing move, and then he goes into this like Van Damme splits.
Yeah,
and it's like just like
it's not bad.
It's not bad. But it's like that's just a weird like. That's just like showing off for like nobody. Like there's nobody there to see you do that. But
showing off for the camera.
Yeah,
showing off for us. I can't do it. Yeah. I was impressed.
Yeah,
good for Truck.
Yeah. So anyway, so now Truck's supposed to be like the creepy voodoo Satanist guy. He's also a kung fu master now, which makes perfect sense in the urban environment. Again, Truck seems to already know that it's Times on the phone, that why he's calling him, and he calls Times weak because he's like, oh, you didn't do what I said. You're at the club right now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm at the club. He's like, you're weak, Times. I told you not to do that. What hurt? The pain was so bad. You're weak. It would have subsided.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That would have been good information to have, before I decided to freak out and run to the club. Sorry, my beers keep spilling. I don't know what's going on.
It's like the third beer now. He's like spilled on during this. Anyway, but yeah, so
but that would have been good information for Truck to tell Times, because instead of saying tie you down to the bed, say, hey,
here's what you're in for.
This is what's going to happen, motherfucker.
Yeah. But anyway, Truck says, you know what? I'll be there ASAP. And then he warns Times, no matter what, do not get a private dance. And Times like, all right.
And he's like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Basically, he's like, I'm coming to save you.
Yes.
Don't get a lap dance.
Yes. So Times rejoins his buddies who are still acting like fucking idiots. And seriously, there's a shot of Fuzzy doing a cartoon where he's lapping the drink out of his martini glass like a dog drinking out of a bowl. Seriously, tongue lapping his drink up. Like, it blew my mind that these guys are acting like this. Like these are supposed to be like the badass urban rappers, thugs.
What? Like, it would are they? Are they badasses?
But no, they're not. But I mean,
there's no inclination whatsoever that they're badasses at all. The only thing is
they try to dress the part. They try to. I'm saying if you're doing like we're gonna be like Wu-Tang.
You know what I get?
From the hood.
You know what I got? CB4.
Yeah,
I got CB4.
I was about to say CB4.
These guys aren't necessarily from the ghetto. They're trying to be. They're basically from the burbs.
Yeah.
They're from the suburbs. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to represent themselves. They don't know how to really fit the part they're trying to portray. That's the feeling I got. I got the feeling that they were
they're not from the burbs. They're clearly from the ghetto. Like, we see where Times...
Yeah,
and we see where they're from, but...
But they're nerds. They're fucking nerds.
So... You might have a point there. I don't know. But they're just... It boggles my mind. And it really kills, like... Whatever hope this movie had, like them acting like this throughout the whole movie, just instantly, I'm like,
cartoon character, Three Stooges.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm done. Like, there's no redeeming this movie for me at this point. But so Times is about to tell him what Truck's like. Hey guys, Truck, I just got to and here's what he said about the warnings. But up comes Stasia again, perfect timing, and is like, hey, how about that dance? And Times like, okay. Even though you just got the phone, he said, do not take a lap dance, whatever you do. And he was clearly right about the first thing about, hey, tie yourself to bed, you're going to be in trouble all the time. And he
You
was clear
think
right about.
you think he'd like?
He'd be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're onto something here, truck. I need to listen to this guy.
You think he'd take that advice from the mystical brother who apparently just called your shit?
Yeah.
And said you need to be strapped to the bed, and you.
And Tom's like, Ari's like, nope, I'm gonna go get the lap dance, even though you just told me not to.
Just told him.
So Stasia leads him away to the VIP room. Now the stripper tosses her broad Fuzzy, who we later see wearing it on his head like a fucking bonnet. Once again, just reinforcing the fucking cartoon nature of these idiots.
Really quick about that stripper. Worst stripper. She is skin and bones.
Skin and bone, not an attractive woman.
Just skinny.
Yeah, like she needs to eat some meat.
No ass, no titties.
Dude, her titties are almost like concave. They're almost like inverted titties.
She's doing the dance. She's shaking around. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, I was like, I'm very happy she's keeping her clothes on. Then she took them off, and I'm like, oh.
I was the same way. Oh, thank God she's keeping her clothes on. I was like, oh no.
I was like, those are some anticlimactic titties.
They're just anti-titty. There are no titty. It's anti-titty.
They are. And she's supposed to be your stripper.
Like, if wrestling people, Kofi Kingston has more titty than this girl does. And Kofi is notorious for having no chest.
I don't know who that is.
He's okay. You haven't been, you're out of the wrestling world right now. Anyway, whatever. So, fuck it. So, yeah, again, just like you said, we're in a VIP room. Stasia's giving Times a lap dance, a private dance, and we see some titties. And
now these are titties.
These are proper titties. But like you mentioned earlier, like the wolf Times literally howls like a wolf howling at the moon as soon as the titty comes out. Like, Jesus Christ. So Stasia, ends up unbuttoning his shirt and sees this tattoo that Times has on his left chest.
She is, oh.
Yeah. She's like, oh, what is this?
She's drawn back. She like puts on the brakes.
It's almost like a vampire seeing a cross. Like,
yeah,
oh.
Almost, yeah.
And upon seeing her whole attitude changes and she wants to know more about the tattoo. Times tells her that it's some design that his grandmother used to draw and get passed down to him. So Stasia gets up and excuses herself, telling Times that there's someone else who would like to see this and wants to would be curious about this.
Yeah, and so when she gets off of him to leave, I notice that Times is literally tied to the chair.
Yeah, he's tied now, which seemed to happen out of nowhere. Because when he goes and he sits down, she comes and starts dancing. He's not tied down, but now all of a sudden he's tied to the chair.
He's tied to the chair. So I've been to strip clubs. I've gone to VIP rooms. I've had a stripper tell me, "Hey, just keep your hands, off of me, or just keep your hands on my ass, something like that."
Yeah.
And they even say, if you get a little too much, don't make me have you sit on your hands.
Yeah.
They never tie you up.
No, the only time I've ever seen a stripper tie somebody up was, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you were there, but I don't know if you remember this, or I don't know if you remember, but we took a friend of ours to a strip club years and years ago. I think it was for, I don't know if it was his 21st or not.
It was his birthday.
It was a birthday, and they put him on the stage for his birthday, and they did a lot of weird shit. They started taking his pants off, they took his belt, and I'm pretty sure I think they tied his hands behind his back with his belt. Or either that or they whipped him with it. I don't know. I thought they might have tied.
They did a lot of shit to him,
which
made me go, never take me to a strip club on my birthday.
Exactly that. I remember that all the time. Like, no,
because they just want to humiliate a person.
Basically, what
it
was. Yeah. So that's the only time they may have tied. They might.
Well, it wasn't his fucking birthday.
No,
it was a VIP treatment, and they tied him up with like rope from like a dirty rope in the garage.
Rope, wire or something. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So they never showed that.
No,
and
they
so
don't.
When she gets up to leave, I'm just like, oh shit, he's tied up. What the fuck?
Yeah, like I said the same thing. Like, how did he get tied up all of a sudden? It was
what
just
kind of VIP room has you sit on a fucking table chair, like a kitchen table chair?
First of all, let's talk about this. The VIP room is just this empty black room.
Yeah.
It's just a dark room. There's nothing. There's no
There's like a few
nice fancy couches. There's no nice
no
lighting. It's just a black room with a dirty floor with this cheap wooden chair. It's not even like a nice chair. It's like this crappy little chair.
Where James Bond gets intimidated, or it's like tortured.
Yeah, it's like
when he gets caught by the bad guys.
Like somebody's gonna bring up a car barrier and hook up to your balls in this room. Not a VIP dance room. This is like Al Qaeda torture room.
And this is where you're getting your VIP treatment.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Shit.
So,
tell me the security codes. Tell them to me. Titties in the face.
So we go back to the main club area where Fuzzy and Licorice are still acting a fool as the same stripper continues to dance. Like I said, she danced for like 30 minutes. Some random customer who just cannot help himself anymore.
He looks like Wayne Brady.
He can't help himself. He's acting like an animal. Now, here's his scandal. He gets up, he lunges at the stripper, who, like I said, we already commented on the awful tits, but he grabs her, and the stripper pushes him back and calls for Buffalo the bouncer. Now, instead of just tossing the guy out of the club like a normal bouncer would, that would be normal protocol. Hey, don't touch your driver.
Yeah.
You're out of here. Buffalo decides to smash the guy's face several times into a brick wall and then snaps the fucker's neck like a Slim Jim, killing the man. That's Buffalo's reaction to grabbing a stripper in this club.
That's neck break number 1.
It is neck breaking. I should have said that in the intro. If you like neck breaking,
yeah,
you're going to love this movie.
If you like neck breaking, you're going to love this movie.
I need to go back and redo the intro then.
Neck break number 1. Buffalo breaks this guy's neck, and all of a sudden goes into like a pro wrestling like stance and howl.
Yeah,
and,
and what
does he yell?
The stripper, he goes, lockdown!
Yes, lockdown!
Yeah, and the stripper then suddenly turns into a vampire. What crowd is there? All rush. They make a break for it. They rush out the door along with the bartender.
Does the stripper turn into a vampire?
Yes, she does.
Huh. Okay, because I got something to say about that.
Because the stripper and the the waitress, who is also now a vampire, and for some other weird demon-looking person in the black robe who you never understand what the hell they are.
That's the weirdest one.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest one.
I get the vampires. I get that.
I get the strippers and different people turning into vampires. And then it's a white guy.
It is a white guy. I think white guy or girl. Yeah, I don't know.
In a fucking like
a cult robe.
Like a druid kind of
Yeah, it's like a black robe with a hood. And they have like kind of
long fingernails,
demonish hands, and like some face, but kind of demon looking. But it's like, huh?
Who the fuck's
this guy? And where'd they come from? Like, and
why is he so fancy?
And you never get any. There's no explanation of who that person is.
Why does this guy get a cool robe?
Yeah, it's really. Like,
it makes you think. Okay, there's something special about this one.
Yeah, or there's more to this, or there's yeah.
Nope.
It's nope. So Fuzzy and Licorice and some other guy, they don't make it out. They get forced into this like large holding room, which again is just another large, dirty room with a sliding door.
Yeah, it's a warehouse. They slide the door, they push them in, close it.
Yeah, and there's a quick shot of Times tied up in a chair, screaming, "What's going on out there?" And then we cut to a naked black woman sitting on what I think is supposed to be an altar, with her back to the camera, and the altar is flanked on each side by like the really cheap tiki torches. And this is where you start really seeing, like, from here on out, the props are a joke. The props are basically plastic toys they got at, like, you know, a Walgreens or a Johnny Brock's or
Home Depot.
Home Depot. It's the worst. They're super cheap. Stasia enters and tells the woman, who we learn her name is Culata, that she needs to go see Times. And Culata sounds like some kind of like cocktail or like Kahlua. Like, might as well call her Kahlua.
Yeah, it's like you have rum chata and Kahlua mixed together. Culata.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
You like that?
But also, isn't
sounds
Culata,
like a gross drink?
What was it? I don't know.
Well, there's rum chata.
No, but I'm thinking, there's a, I don't know if you've seen how familiar with the South Park episode, but with the vampire episode of South Park, they're always like, the vampires always drink this juice. I thought it was like Culata juice or something like that.
Oh, no, it's Clamato.
Clamato juice. Okay.
Clamato. It's clam juice mixed with tomato juice.
Okay, Clamato juice.
It's very popular with the Latin American.
But it's like that's what popped in my head when I heard that name.
And there's you mix it with some beer. Actually, it's not a bad drink.
This can't imagine clam juice being good in anything. That sounds awful.
It gets a little salty, like meaty flavor. I mean, like a good Bloody Mary kind of has a meaty flavor.
I hate Bloody Marys though.
Yeah, well,
so
it will give you the shits.
Another reason not to drink it. So far, it sounds like there's absolutely no redeeming factor. Salty, clammy water that will give you the shits and taste like drink I hate. So that sounds absolutely atrocious. So we go back to Times. He's still screaming and cursing. In comes Stasia and Culata. Stasia slaps him around for being disrespectful.
She starts beating the shit out of him pretty good.
Yeah.
And this is where I got the CB4 flavor, okay? Because for the most part, Times Square is acting pretty tough amongst his group. He's kind of the alpha amongst the group.
Yeah, he's definitely the alpha.
He's pushing around Fuzzy, pushing around Licorice. You know, he's kind of the alpha of the group. And then when Stasia starts slapping him around, and she puts like fishnet stockings around his face and pulls him back.
It's not even fishnet. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It is fishnet.
It's not even that bad. Yeah. You know, he's kind of getting beat up a little bit, but he's like, "Ah!" He's just screaming
But the thing,
so much, like he's.
I think I
like
talked
he's
about this later.
begging for mercy
I want to talk
after
about
getting
this
slapped
now,
around a little bit.
Yeah, I know I talk about this later, but I want to mention this. Like, that's another thing that drove me nuts about this character is like, I don't know what they were going for with him. Like, again, they're trying to act like he's the tough guy, there's the tough urban guy who, and he screams like a bitch so much, especially later in the movie. There's a horrible scene. It's like the worst thing in the movie. But at the same time, he goes from screaming like a bitch, like, then he's like acting like he's telling you Pimp Daddy again, like the Mac Daddy, because he's like, oh, Stasia and it's like, you both want me at the same time? Oh, okay, I can handle you because I'm man enough for both y'all. Let's get this on. Like, I'm gonna fuck you both right now.
That's where I got the
and
CB.
then it's like what?
That's where I got the CB4 flavor from. Because CB4, if you remember seeing that, it's been a while since I've seen
I haven't seen CB4 in like 20 years.
Yeah, but so. it's Chris Rock and other guys.
Well, I know who's in it. Yeah,
from the Burbs who are trying to be rappers, and they basically pose as NWA type of characters, like truly from the hood badasses, and they're not.
No,
and that's how I took Times Square, is that he's trying to pose as a badass, but when rubber meets the road, he's a little bitch.
But but from here on out, he's basically in a fucked up where he should just be all bitch from here now. Like, you're tied up to a chair, you're getting beat on. How do you go from screaming like bitch, like, oh, I want to fuck both? Let's fuck both of you right now. Like, he flips that switch so much, so often that's like it drives me insane in this movie. Like, it's like you can't be both of these at the same time. You're one or the other.
Yeah.
You have to pick one.
I get it.
So, I just covered that. So we learned that Collada at this point cannot talk because her tongue was cut out for some ritual.
She cut her own tongue out in some ritualistic BS.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. She just doesn't talk, which is fine because she was probably gonna be a shitty actress anyway. But then Collada sees Times' tattoo, and she just starts laughing in glee. So apparently she can laugh. And we cut to this dark alley where some guy named Too Bad is walking down.
It's a horrible name.
Yeah, Too Bad.
Dude, there have been historic, horrible names for African Americans in all kinds of horror movies.
Yeah.
Particularly one of the worst ones, I think, is T-Bone from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, T-Bone.
That was a horrible name. Great character. Horrible name.
I hated T-Bone just because I couldn't say his name. Like it was
because his name was bullshit.
I know, like
that was the worst.
Anything else, and I might like this character, but T-Bone.
I love the character.
I can't take him.
I liked him. I thought he was cool. I thought he was down to earth. He was a good guy. Everything he did was awesome. Horrible name.
Yeah. T-Bone. I forgot all about T-Bone. I forgot about him.
Horrible name. Anyway, Too Bad.
Too Bad. Spelled with the number 2 B-A-D, by the way. He's walking, and then out from fucking nowhere comes Truck falling from the sky like the Predator, like urban Batman. Just he leaps down.
Well, isn't Batman urban anyway? He's in an
Technically,
urban...
I guess his city would be urban. Yeah. Okay, Black Batman.
There you go.
So he basically shakes down Too Bad for information about Cryptz and Times, which is weird because he's supposed to know where Cryptz is. Like, I don't get it. But Too Bad says he doesn't know anything. So Truck then pulls out this little voodoo bag and blows some white powder into Too Bad's face. Like, it looks like basically like Gold Bond talcum powder. He just blows
it's
this guy's
very
face.
80s pro wrestling when they would throw salt.
Papa Shango!
Yeah, or when they would throw salt in the eyes. Like Mr. Fuji loved throwing salt in the eyes.
But Papa Shango, he was the voodoo guy.
Yeah.
He'd do that weird shit.
Yeah. Who was actually
the Godfather.
Yeah,
the Hall of Famer. The Hall of Famer was Papa Shango.
He's a Hall of Famer now?
Yeah, they put Godfather in, which I was like, I don't know about that.
Slim pickings that year.
Yeah, like really? Like the Godfather's a Hall of Famer? Okay. Like I don't think he ever had any major titles or anything, but
no.
What? Like, yeah, I was stunned. Like, did they just need like a token black guy to put in that year? Because like, well, Farouk's already in, Rock's already in.
Just put Booker T in already.
I think Booker is. He's been in for a while.
Well then, shit.
Yeah. So anyway, which this white powder causes Too Bad's face to burn, leaving like a giant green burn mark down his face.
Yeah, I didn't understand what was on his face. It almost looked like an insect.
Yeah,
it almost looked like there was a bug on the side of his face.
It's supposed to be a burn mark, but the makeup it's really shitty.
It's really
bad. Yeah, it's supposed to be a burn. Too Bad tells Truck that the entrance to Cryptz moves every night. Ooh. But he does tell him, hey, here's how you find it anyway, which it didn't make sense. I didn't pay attention to it.
Okay. He told him it moves every night. Right now it's in this area.
Okay.
On the rooftop. That's all I know. That's all I can give you. Truck goes, okay. And then just poof, disappears.
Which, honestly, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't move every night because the very opening scene, the guy running the rooftops, is the same rooftop outside the club, and that was the night before this happened. So anyway, that's breaking.
You're right.
So fuck it.
I did like this line because once Truck disappeared, the black guy, Too Bad, is looking around, and goes, "What? You just gonna blow anthrax in a brother's face and then disappear? God damn!" I did like that.
The anthrax, yeah,
that's pretty funny.
That was probably the best line in the movie.
It was delivered well. More Too Bad, please. He was a better actor than all these other guys.
Yeah, he is. So we jump back to Times and Collada, who pulls out a large knife and uses it to skin Times. Like she carves off and skins his tattoo off his chest.
Cuts his tattoo off his chest.
And it's not a big tattoo. It's like a small
2 by 2.
Yeah, it's like
2 inches by 2 inches.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a nice chunk. It would hurt. It would
definitely hurt. I'm not saying that. It would hurt.
It would freak you out.
Oh yeah. We go back to Fuzzy and Licorice and the other guy, and the other guy's using like this pole to try to break out of the room. He's just banging against like the door, trying to pry it open.
God damn, is this guy committed?
Yeah, he is. He's going to town on this.
Holy shit! I got a comment on Licorice and Fuzzy are prisoners, and this other guy is just going to just beating on the door with a pipe.
Let's talk about the one dude. Our rando guy is one guy who's actually trying to like get the fuck out of here and get escape. Fuzzy and Licorice just sitting around bitching and cursing. They're not doing anything to help. They're not trying to escape. They're not trying to get out. They're just sitting there bitching. And it's like, are you serious?
And this guy is like determined. Bang, bang,
like, help that guy out. Help the brother out there, man. Get out.
It's so annoying because really you cannot hear any of the dialogue. Which
is fine because I don't want to hear the dialogue. All it is, motherfucker, what the fuck we gonna do, bitch? Please, blah blah blah. It's awful. So I'd much rather hear the banging of the pipe on the door than dialogue.
They try to slip in some jokes here and there. They try to make it funny.
It's not funny though.
But it's even worse with a bang, 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 bang. This guy trying to get out.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'll give you right. It is kind of normal. At the same time, I don't know if it's more normal than, like I said, the horrible dialogue in this movie. So take it for what it is. The door slides open and Buffalo then tosses Times into the room with the rest of them and then locks him back up.
And immediately the guy starts going right back to the door.
Which I'm surprised like Buffalo's to come and like take the pipe, like beat the guy down for trying to escape.
You know they hear it on the other side.
I think he's gonna be echoing through that place.
And as soon as they open the door, it's not like the guy tries to bum rush him.
No.
Or get out.
He takes a step back.
He takes a step back. They throw him in and shut the door. And he goes right back to banging on the door.
Yeah.
I'm like, jeez. And the whole time, this is when Times Square gets thrown on the ground. He's telling Fuzzy, he's telling Licorice about what happened. They're talking to each other like, hey, we just haven't seen you in so, like, we're so worried about you. Blah blah blah. It's like wow, we found you. Good. You know, like it's a moment. But you can't understand what they're saying because you hear bang 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 bang.
No, Dimes does something that another super fine bitch cut off his tat. That's the line. He does say that.
You heard that over the bang bang bang.
Yeah. So in comes now in the room. In comes this demon looking guy in the black robes you talked about. He knocks the random dude aside and then just. Again, the one guy trying to escape, they just like ignore him the entire time.
The one guy who seems bound and determined to get the fuck out of here.
They ignore him. He pushes this guy away and grabs Licorice and then drags him out of the room.
And
all this is done in a blurry slow motion, which makes zero sense.
Like weird time lapse slow motion.
Yeah, which makes it look blurry. It's like underwater slow motion or something.
Because they make it like time lapse slow motion, and you know This demon guy with the hood on.
Yeah.
He basically just swats because the guy does come at him with the pipe.
Yes.
The guy with the pipe comes at the demon guy and the demon guy just slaps him away effortlessly.
And effortlessly and shittily.
Yeah,
like,
really
it looks
shittily.
So it's like he swats him away, but I swear it's like the director's like, you have to be very careful because your fingernails will fall off. That's what's like he's so ginger about. I was like, oh my god, if I do this too hard, my fake hand, my prosthetic is gonna fall off, so I can't really touch him. So that's what it looks like.
But it makes him look powerful almost.
Sort of. I give you.
That's the impression I got.
Okay.
Because he seemed to effortlessly swat away. Random dude with a pipe.
Yeah.
Grabs Licorice, closes the door, and then immediately Pipe Boy goes right back to it.
Yep.
Bang, bang, bang.
Right back into it. And Licorice then just gets taken from this room to another smaller room and which is like clearly underneath some stairs, and for some reason has like half a toilet in it, which is really weird. And he's locked up in there. Like, what? Like, if all the people you're gonna take to isolate, take the one dude that's banging, trying to escape, and isolate him, because Licorice ain't doing shit except for sitting there bitching. Like,
he's just doing a bad Chris Tucker impersonation.
Yeah, maybe that's what. That's the worst offense. Like, you try to escape, you're okay.
How dare you steal from Chris Tucker? That guy's an icon.
But Chris Tucker, fuck you. You're going to a smaller prison.
You out of here.
And besides this, like, toilet, the room is also filled with like plastic bones, like clearly plastic bones.
You mean there's a femur bone, a skull, a spine, and then an antler?
And an antler.
A fucking antler?
Yeah.
A goddamn deer antler?
Yeah. I thought it was really fucking weird. And all these bones.
I feel like I was getting an anatomy test. I'm like, okay, there's a femur.
Thank you.
There's a skull. There's an antler.
Because
what the fuck is that?
These plastic bones, like the skull and the spine, they're the same type you would see in like a doctor's office when they want to explain something to you.
An anatomy class.
Yeah, it's like, here's the plastic display
Here's
bone.
the full skeleton. Let's remove a few pieces, put them in here, and we're going to throw an antler in for the fuck of it.
Now, before we move on, because we're going to talk about this, for the next 10 to 20 minutes or so, the movie, everything else is going on, it keeps cutting back to Licorice in this room. So I'm just going to knock out this Licorice shit right now so I don't have to deal with it. So for the next 20 minutes or so, we'll say 15, I don't know how long, Licorice is shown screaming in this room the entire time. Just, let me out, and banging on the door with various plastic bones he picks up.
And various jokes.
Yes. Yeah. And each time he picks up a bone, he says one really stupid one-liner that pertains to whatever bone he picked up. It's really lame and really fucking stupid. Like I said, this goes on for a very long time, and it keeps coming back to this for like the next 20 minutes. But we're not gonna keep going back to it. So this is what it's going on. Everything we're talking about, just keep in mind that it keeps coming back to him doing this shtick in this room for like the next 20 minutes. So anyway, so back to what's happening. So we cut back to Colada, the stripper and the waitress, along with Stasia, and they're in the altar room where we saw her earlier. And Colada uses Stasia now as like a puppet and speaks through her.
Yeah, and because she cut her tongue out, so she holds the back of her neck, and apparently it's speaking through her.
And of course she has to talk like this.
Of course we can't.
Because she can't talk normally.
Yeah, I don't know why you would just talk. Hey, so this is Colada speaking now through me, but
she turns into Batman.
Yeah, she really does. She starts talking this awful act. Yeah.
And that was pretty funny.
And it's this drawn out speech about their evil plans and ruin the human race and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and
thanks to having Times' tattoo now.
And there's just 2 minions listening.
Yeah, it's not like a whole army of everybody. It's like the waitress and the stripper.
The waitress and the stripper are listening to Colada speak through Stasia.
And keep in mind, like where the fuck are the hooded robed people? Like are they minions? Like if they're supposed to be on this, why aren't they in there listening to this
Buffalo?
Speech? Yeah, where's Buffalo at? So Colada then turns Stasia into a full-fledged vampire by making Stasia drink Colada's blood from his cheap plastic skull cup, which it's the cheapest, childish-looking thing. And I kid you not, I have that cup upstairs in a kitchen cabinet right now.
Thought you would, baby, because you got a lot of cheap plastic skull cups.
Yeah, it's
drinking out of one right now.
Yeah, I keep getting these like Jen gets like stuff like that for like find stuff for Halloween. Like, this would be fun for Halloween, so let's throw it in there.
I'm gonna try and open this beer without it spilling.
Let's see if we can go 4 for 4 here. Oh, it's rising. Here it comes.
What the hell, man?
Man, you got a shitty beer. All 4 beers are doing beer volcano.
She just wants to come out anyway.
Stasia's now a vampire, and anyway, as soon as Stasia turns into a vampire, which is fucking instantaneous, by the way, after drinking blood, Stasia then turns on her allies and bites into the stripper vampire's neck and kills her.
That's why I was curious if the stripper was a vampire.
They were all vampires, except for Stasia, who's now a vampire.
Well, because that's the thing. It's like, from vampire lore across all cultures.
We're about to get into vampire lore here.
All that stuff, it seems as if vampires, to complete the process, I know some lore says, okay, you drink the blood of a vampire, but you don't become a vampire until you feed from a human, something like that. And it seems like she drank blood, got teeth, and then drank from this gal.
No, because there's shots like when they first, when Buffalo locked down and they're backing Licorice and Fuzzy into that room. You see a stripper's face, and she's vampire fangs.
I should have rewinded it and looked, but I didn't.
She's vampired.
That was my question. I mean, it's like, so can a vampire eat another vampire?
That's what's just so fucking weird. Like, maybe, but if you did, why? Like, these are supposed to be your coven, like your group. Why would you turn and kill another vampire?
That stripper didn't fuck up. We didn't see her fuck up. We didn't see her do anything wrong. She seemed to do everything just right.
And also Colada just stands there laughing
they all
the whole time.
Seem to be entertained by
whatever.
This.
And also, like, why? Like, again, lore. The new vampires are supposed to be the least powerful. So how would the brand new just turn vampire have so easily kill a senior vampire?
That's another.
It's beyond. Like, who are supposed to be on the same fucking team? Like, I don't get any of this. It's so dumb and so retarded. I just don't understand why they'd even make that happen.
Like Kobe and Shaq did not get along, but Kobe didn't come up and kick Shaq in the balls before the game.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Or make it more Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown right now if we want to modernize it. They're going through a little hissy tit-fit girl fight. Who knows?
Although I do like Antonio Brown's dances.
But that's another. It's like, I don't get any of this. It's just. Like, if you need to, don't. And plus, it's a cheap ass way to kill the stripper. Like, she could have gone out. Like, somebody else could kill the stripper in a better way.
Especially when you're this close to achieving your goal.
Exactly. Like, oh, we're gonna rule the world. We're right there. Like, oh,
let's kill one of our members.
We only have 4. There were only 4 of us, and now there's 3. But we're gonna take over the world with 3 people. Like, come on.
I got something else to say about that later. But
okay. Anyway, truck finally arrives at the rooftop entrance, and he's about to open the door, but it's flung open, and there in the backlit indoor fog is Buffalo.
And this is where
it's literally Mortal Kombat music.
Mortal Kombat.
Yes, it is. It's like the cheap ripoff of Mortal Kombat.
It's a cheap ripoff of Mortal Kombat music. I immediately thought, I'm like, this guy Truck looks like right out of Mortal Kombat because he's ripped. He's got Asian tattoos on his back. He's bald. He's a very nondescript background character of Mortal Kombat.
He's wearing this weird tank top. Like
it's a cutoff shirt.
It's like it's
cut
like
the shirt off.
The front of it is like all shirt, but the back of it is like there's a collar and the back.
It's so thin.
It's like this little bitty stripe. It's like this
little
thread that goes right down his back to show off his back muscles.
And his tats, his Asian influenced tats.
It's like, why would you even at that point? Why even bother wearing a shirt? Like, seriously,
just wear a tank top,
just wear a tank top, or just go shirtless. Like, why why even bother wearing that?
I mean, I get you gotta wear a shirt, but Anyway, their fight scene.
Yeah,
we have a fight scene.
It's literally a Mortal Kombat music playing, but it's a really shitty rooftop fight scene that ends. Again, Buffalo is taking the slowest punches ever.
It's like punch.
Yeah.
Dodge, punch, dodge.
It's bad. And it ends with Truck killing Buffalo by breaking his neck. So there's
neck 2.
Yeah, number 2. We cut to Fuzzy and Time sitting around there talking and bullshitting, and they get into a fight over whose fault this is. And again, the scene drags on, and there's no point to it. Just them arguing over whose fault it is.
It was funny, though, because they're sitting there bitching at each other so much. The guy, the pipe guy,
he's giving up.
Bang, bang, bang. He finally gave up, and he just sat there, and he was just
he's cute. He's like a little kid sitting there for story time. He's sitting there with his legs crossed, his hands in his lap, looking at Times and Fuzzy as they bitch and argue back and forth.
Listen to these guys bitch back and forth.
With like really great posture too, like his back. And
that was the thing that really stood out is that he looked so attentive.
Yeah. I noticed that too.
He looks so attentive to these wannabe rappers bitching at each other,
trying to place blame on whose fault is it.
Trying to place blame on why they wound up in this situation.
Still to me, the scene still drags on. The doors open up, and in comes Stasia, who Times mouths off to, still trying to act hard and tough and like a pimp. Like, all right, girl, let's get it on or something. And she grabs Fuzzy and then Times and tosses them out of the room. So Fuzzy and Times just get tossed out of the room, and then she attacks the random dude, who she just quickly and easily rips the dude's throat out, killing him. Doesn't bite him, just rips his throat out.
He tried to fight. He tried.
I'm not saying he didn't try, but it's just so easy.
This is the thing I remember is that he have the pipe. Yeah, he stood up with the pipe. He comes at her, but she just basically rips his throat out. She pulls a roadhouse.
Yeah, she does pull a roadhouse.
But he comes at her with the pipe, and in that same slow motion, weird motion we were talking about, which happens a lot.
Yeah, it does.
She roadhouse.
Yeah, he's dead.
Pulls his throat out. Just like that. So I'm like, okay, she's powerful. This guy, he's been using this pipe a lot. He knows how to use it. And she just ripped his throat out. So, okay, she might be someone not to be fucked with, right? That was the impression I got. Well, I'll go come back.
I didn't really think that. I was like, oh, she's a vampire, like any other vampire.
Okay, fine. She's a fucking vampire, not to be fucked with.
Yeah, I get it. So Times and Fuzzy are forced down this dark hallway by the robe demon, who's now back. The robe person is back, leading them or forcing them down this hallway, and they end up in the altar room, which we've seen already, where they are quickly joined by the 3 remaining vampire chicks. Fuzzy gets grabbed by Colada and taken away already. So Stasia and the waitress laugh and start closing in on Times, who arms himself with another plastic bone.
And Times is by himself, and here comes Stasia and the waitress, full vampire gear,
vampire mode,
crazy eyes. They're coming to kill him.
Yeah, and what follows is the most annoying and worst scenes ever, I think.
He scoops up a femur bone.
A plastic femur bone.
And starts screaming like a little bitch.
He's wildly
swing.
Yeah.
Swing.
Yeah, he's just wildly swinging this bone at them and screaming.
And just screaming and while he's waving this bone. And they're like, terrified.
Yeah, and the two vampire chicks just stand there hissing at him, and they kind of occasionally like swipe him with their fingernails.
And he's keeping him at bay.
Yeah, it's 2-on-1. They're vampires
They
with
just
a bone.
They just showed her swat away the guy with the pipe.
Which was like at least like a 6 foot. Like, it's a long pipe.
It's a big-ass pipe.
Very skinny, but very long.
And she just went, pow! Give me your throat. Roadhouse.
Yeah, but a plastic femur bone is enough to keep him
And screaming like
bay.
a little bitch and swinging around a small femur bone is enough to keep 2, not 1, but 2 of them away. And I was so pissed at seeing this.
Oh, dude, this is, like I said, this movie, this scene, I was like, if I could have thrown something at the TV at this point, I would have. Or if I could like fuck this movie. Like, I hate, and it goes on for like 5 minutes of Times just screaming like a bitch. Every now and then he'll yell, help! But he's like,
It goes on for a long time.
And just keeps going. And the movie's bad enough, but from here on out, it gets really, really bad. So it starts flipping.
Now it gets bad?
Yeah. It starts flipping back and forth between Licorice banging, who's still, like I said, Rebecca Licorice still banging on that door with the bone, screaming and cursing. Time screaming like a bitch, and the vampires, quote unquote, fighting. And then Fuzzy, who is now trying to act like a pimp with Culata because he's being dragged away by Klein. Fuzzy's like, oh, girl, we're going to get, like, all right, let's do this. Let's get this.
I don't understand.
How are you still acting like that? You've been locked up by vampires now, and you're still thinking like you're going to get up. You're going to fuck this girl like you're going to hook up?
You saw a man get his neck broken by buffalo. People turn into vampires, grab you, and throw you into a jail. Mm-hmm. Your friend comes back with his chest cut out, basically.
Yeah.
And then you're still got a boner?
Yeah. I was like, that's what I'm saying.
You're still like down?
I hate this shit so much. And like we see it so much.
Honest, I feel like this belittles, like, I know it's a movie, and I know I feel like this is actually almost, and I know it feels like this is an insult to black people in a way. This is just like, really? This is what you're thinking of, like, they're just horny people all the time? This is ridiculous because it's like, even in a movie, this is extreme.
Even not so much, horny, but
any character,
horny, but also more like just tough guy pimp mode. That they always have to act like that.
It's almost insulting.
It is, but we see it in so many movies where the black guy is always sex obsessed, but they always have to act hard and like a pimp. Like they're never allowed to show weakness ever. Like, how dare you? Like, what? Like, no. At this point, that any normal person
should be terrified.
Exactly. I don't care how you're like, oh shit, what the? I'm fucked or something like that. Now, like, oh, let's get it on, girl. It's like, oh, let's do it. I'm gonna.
You're the girl who just cut my friend's chest out.
Yeah, let's put a little Barry White on. Let's get down.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
So, anyway, Culata, Fuzzy gets tossed down to this like table bed.
bed?
I don't know what. Yeah, it's table bed.
bed?
Yeah. And Carlotta then pours some liquid out of a bowl.
She does like choke slam him onto it. Kind of like he's like laying down, but she like slams him down. He does start to freak out. She pours this.
It's like a small wooden bowl or something, but just pours some liquid down his throat,
like a wooden bowl, and he starts going. This is where his acting gets good, and he starts freaking out. But he's like air humping and like trying to get away.
Yeah,
as she's holding him down again. Weird slow motion vision.
But this liquid apparently causes him to pass out. So he's out cold, and then she mounts him, and again more blurry slow motion. She's mounting him, and she's running her fingers over his face and chest. But then now Fuzzy, he wakes up, and now he too is a vampire, which makes zero fucking sense.
Unless, well, do you remember?
Because it's not her blood; it's just a liquid. It's like,
how do we know?
Because it was like clear.
Well, bad effects then. Let's just say it's her blood. Because it's the same shit that Stasia drank. Let's say that.
It's not, though, because we Stasia...
Quick, bitch. It's a shitty movie.
No,
it's a shitty movie.
We saw Carla, like, slit her arm and put the blood into the cup and hand. This is just like...
How do you know she didn't have leftovers?
There was, like, water she poured down his throat.
Don't go down this road, Marshall. Just say it's the blood. Just say it's the blood.
I've already down the road. Like, I've already gone down the road. I can't turn around now. The road's too narrow to turn around.
It's the blood, man. That's what it is.
But,
now Fuzzy's
a vampire. A fucking vampire now,
sure.
too. So, Jesus Christ. Like, what is happening? I don't know. So, we go back to Times, who's still screaming like a bitch, trying to fend off the two vampires with the bone. Now, again, dropping down from the ceiling, which makes even less sense because they're in a basement now. With his truck, he just drops down from the ceiling. He easily kills the waitress vampire by grabbing her from behind and snapping her neck.
Number three,
which I never knew was one way to kill a vampire.
I didn't know you could kill a vampire.
Now we have sunlight, wooden stake through the heart, and apparently now a simple snapping the neck will kill a vampire.
Maybe they can bleed out too. Maybe they're basically humans who just bite people who are incredibly weak.
Yeah, these are the most fragile vampires in movie history.
So not only are they like susceptible to garlic, maybe turmeric, maybe rosemary,
sage,
maybe just salt.
They're like slugs. Just pour some salt on them. And honestly, you might have a thing with salt because they cover.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And of course, they're not even all that invulnerable to physical damage because Truck punches Stasia in the face and knocks her ass out.
Yeah.
So they can't even take a punch.
She just punches that bitch.
Punches her in the face. She drops. Times grabs his skin slab, and the two of them run out of the room.
She's an almighty vampire who tears that dude's throats like Roadhouse and just gets punched by a Mortal Kombat hack and he gets knocked out. God damn these bitches. God damn these vampires.
So, yeah, Times and Truck. They run out of the room. They have a quick conversation in the hallway about having to oppose evil and fight evil where it comes. And
blah, blah, blah.
That it's not good that the vampires took Fuzzy and Licorice away. But then they just head off again. But they come to another stop, and Truck wants to see Times' tattoo flesh slab. And Truck...
He was so polite about it.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened to your chest? That bitch cut out my tattoo. May I see it?
Yeah.
He was so... May I see it, please?
Truck recognizes this symbol as some kind of voodoo symbol from Haiti, which turns out where Times' grandmother is Haitian.
Yeah, Times' grandma apparently gave him something with the symbol on it. He liked it. He got a tattoo on his chest. But he doesn't care about it. He just thought it was cool looking.
Yeah. So this conversation goes on for a surprisingly long time and is also conducted in a surprisingly calm and relaxed manner, considering that they're supposed to be on the run from voodoo vampires that are hunting them down.
And Truck is very, like, sympathetic and just like, well, yeah, I know your grandmother's Haitian, but you carry some of the power. You're like, he's actually very nice, and this is not a heartfelt moment that should be shared. That's what I'm saying.
My point is that they're talking like this, like they're just, like you and I would just be sitting down at a table drinking a beer, having a regular conversation.
Right.
Not, like, we're being chased by fucking voodoo vampires, like...
Right.
But let's stop and have a moment in this narrow little hallway. Like, it's so inappropriate. Like, this should not be happening. So Truck and Times tell us Times that his tattoo is a secret power word that would make Culotta unstoppable, giving her the power over the dead and some other bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Times offers says, hey, I'll just eat this thing. I'll eat my own skin.
Yeah. Which I'm like, cool.
All right. I was like, my first like, just burn it.
Honestly, my thought was awesome. I want to see him eat his own flesh. I'm like, here we go.
But Truck says, nope, Kalila would just rip it out of your steaming guts.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really, Truck?
Well, I guess if she got it, well, it would be chewed up, but
you'd have to go pretty fast, man.
Yeah, you'd have to. I mean, if you did fast enough, but yeah. But then Truck says the only way to stop this is to kill Kulada. So the two of them, they're like, all right, let's do it, and they head off again.
The fact that Times Square says, I will eat it,
yeah,
and Truck says she'll rip it from your steaming guts,
yes,
makes you think she must be pretty powerful.
You would think so,
because that seems like you could eat it quick enough and dissolve it, you know.
I don't know if it would dissolve that fast.
But regardless, it makes you think she's tough. She's powerful.
She is supposed to be the head vampire, the lead chick. We cut to Kalada, who's still pawing at Fuzzy. In comes Stasia to tell her that Times has escaped with his tattoo. Kalada slaps her and then just walks away.
She does.
Seeing Vampire Fuzzy lying on the bed in like a comatose state, which is weird, just laying there with his eyes open. She says to him, "Hey, I like you better. I like you better this way." And then she just leaves too. We cut back to Licorice, still banging on the fucking door.
God damn it.
The door flings open, and in rushes the robed demon guy person.
And this is where you see it's a white. It looks like the bartender.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the bartender. I think it was the
bartender DJ guy. It was either the DJ or the bartender.
My guess it was the bartender because he's the one who looked like Ozzy Osbourne with the black eye makeup and all that.
Doesn't fucking matter. It's a white guy.
It is a white guy. That's all we know. Yeah. The two of them struggle, but Licorice gets the upper hand. And then repeatedly just smashes this demon guy's head against the cement wall till the blood explodes from the demon guy's mouth.
Dude, this goes on for a
long everything in this movie
time.
seems so stretched out. Things that shouldn't be are just nothing about this movie. The pacing is awful. Everything's stretched out.
Imagine Chris Tucker killing someone.
God.
He's like, come on, man, fuck you, man.
Yeah, and the whole time he's yelling, "Who's your daddy?" He's like doing the Chris Tucker. Yeah, he's like, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" That's what he's doing for like 2 minutes.
It goes on. It's like he's like bam, bam, bam,
yeah.
bam. It goes on for a
and
long
Chris
time.
Tucker yelling, "Who's your daddy?"
And Chris Tucker voice just I gotta give it to Licorice. He does a great Chris Tucker. We know he ripped him off, but he does it well.
So
finally he goes blah, and just spits out a bunch of blood.
Well, I should say red slushy icy.
Yes,
it looks like when you put your cup in a 7-Eleven and you push the button and it comes out of his mouth like a fucking icy.
Yes,
that's exactly what it looks like.
That's exactly what it is. Because finally he vomits up his slushy that he was drinking earlier.
Yeah, that's all it was. There was no blood. It was just red slushy. So Licorice leaves the room after saying, "Who's your daddy now?" in his Chris Tucker voice. Then he leaves, and he enters the backlit fog-filled hallway. We cut back to the dead waitress, vampire, Kulada, and Stasia. They enter the room. Kulada grabs a knife, and they go after Times after she sees the dead waitress. Like, no, but whatever. They leave. And they pretty much instantly find them, too.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, they've supposedly been on the run for a few minutes now,
a good couple minutes.
They instantly turn a corner. They find them right there. The four of them, quote unquote, fight. And again, this is done incredibly poorly. It's a piss poor fight scene. Kulada pretty much overpowers Times instantly, while Truck manhandles Stasia with one hand. Again, supposed to be an all-powerful vampire, but he pins her up against the wall and holds her there with one arm.
As he clumsily fishes
out
his
little voodoo bag.
For his voodoo bag and his cargo pants.
They're not even cargo. They're like hammer pants almost, or Akita pants. They're like these big
He's got a side
pants.
pocket, and he's holding her against the wall, and he's like...
He's not even holding... He's got his forearm up against
whatever.
Her
he's holding her against the wall with one arm. And he's fishing around in his
all
pants.
All-powerful vampire being...
And he's fishing around. He's like, where the fuck is it? Is it here? God damn, okay, there's my wallet. Okay, move it. My keys. Okay. Ooh, here's my voodoo salt.
Yeah.
It took forever.
It does.
It took forever
and
for him to find.
And she's just standing there.
And she's standing there kind of going, like kind of batting at his arms.
100% true. 100%.
As he's taking... forever to find his voodoo salt.
Yeah, but he brings out the voodoo salt, blows the in her face, which starts to burn her face. So now apparently, salt can also damage a vampire too.
He blows this shit in her face, and she goes running off.
Yeah, she runs away screaming out of the room, holding her face. So Truck turns his attention to Colada. He yanks her.
Colada is literally bitch slapping Times Square.
She's mounted him.
She's mounted him, but she's just
bitch,
slapping him
yeah.
and slapping him and slapping him. And while I'm watching this, I'm thinking to myself, these are the demons who are going to enslave the human race.
Yeah, they're bitch slapping
and basically
people.
They're just hoes who walk around in, titty outfits slapping people.
Vampire, they look like vampire prostitutes.
So these are the
yeah, like I said, the weakest, most fragile, worst vampires in movie history.
These are the vampires who are going to enslave.
Like, they're awful.
They're going to enslave the human race. They can't best a guy with the name of Times Square.
I think the Vampirina from the Disney cartoon my daughter watches is a more imposing vampire than these bitches.
I'm like, really? We're supposed to think that they're supposed to enslave the human race, and all they do is just bitch slap people.
Yeah. So anyway, the Truck yanks Colada off Times. But then we cut back to Licorice wandering down a hallway, and then Stasia comes running past him, screaming.
Yeah, she just runs right past him, holding onto her face.
And instead of going the opposite, like, oh shit, I should get away from the vampire. I gotta get. No, he turns and follows her. What? What the? Like,
no. I
shit?
understood this because he was lost. He's like, how do I get out of here? Oh my god, how do I get out of here? And then she runs past him, and he thought maybe I can find an exit because he even says stuff to that effect.
Still, to me, the logic is that's like, you're trapped by vampires trying to kill you. I don't care if you're lost. Like, I'm not gonna follow one. I'm not like, okay, holy shit, I just got lucky. She didn't kill me. I'm gonna go the opposite direction of the vampire that's trying to kill me, not go after it.
Brother, I hear you.
Ugh.
Although he explained it away as maybe she knows a way out of here. Like that was his logic.
Still,
I agree. But at least he said it out loud, so you kind of understand where he's going.
We cut back to the fight. Truck gets Colada now in a full Nelson, and then Times grabs a metal pole, drives it through Colada's heart, and by heart I mean right above her stomach and underneath her boob line.
Below her tits.
Right below her tits. Not where the heart is
She
at all.
got a low-hanging heart, baby.
Very low. Apparently,
she got a low-hanging heart.
Apparently her anatomy is completely different from normal human anatomy. And so she's kind of pinned to the wall by this. So apparently the pipe didn't just go through her. It had to have gone through the wall, too, in order to pin her to the wall. So
this is also a metal pipe.
Metal pipe going through cement from a regular dude, like who's suddenly now.
Dude, he's like you and me.
Right.
He's you and me. He's
no way would I be able to drive a metal pipe through a cement wall, through a person first, then a cement wall. By the way, but apparently he does, and then Truck then blows some more of his white voodoo salt into her face, which I think apparently causes Colada to start shaking as electricity starts shooting out from her, like the pipe wound from
the
her
1980s blue electricity we talk about. It's back in 2002, baby.
It basically is. And then Colada just explodes in like a shitty burst of white light, and I mean shitty. It's shitty.
Yeah,
like it's bad. So Truck and Times then they just like, oh. Truck literally says, "Let's bounce." That's what he says.
I know. I love it.
Then he literally says, "Let's bounce."
I love that. I fucking love that. I do love that. Let's bounce because I say that shit today. I still say that. And when he said that, I was like, 2000s, baby. Because I remember when I heard it in 2000s, I thought it was so cool. So let's bounce. Oh.
The two of them, they're walking. We got to do. They're just walking down the hallway. And that's when Vampire Fuzzy leaps out from fucking nowhere because it's a narrow hallway. Where he's hiding and how they didn't see him, I don't know. But he just pops out of nowhere.
Sure.
Fuzzy and Truck into a fight. And just like the rest of the fights, it's really shitty and it's over really quick.
Truck beats the shit out of him, jumps up on a pipe above him.
Oh my god, he does like a van. Yeah,
throws his legs around his neck. Snap neck break number 4.
Fuzzy's neck with his legs.
Like Sonya from Mortal Kombat.
You, like a Sonya, Sonya Blair, right? Yeah, or
Sonya Blade.
Blade, thank you. Oh, Jesus. I just I can't take it. Like I can't take the neck snapping. Like
it's 4.
It's 4. 4. Like you couldn't get some kind of more variety of kills. This is neck snap. Like that's just lazy ass writing.
More neck snaps in this movie than a Van Damme martial arts flick.
There is. Which I also call bullshit on, by the way, because I don't think there's any way from that position you to be able to snap somebody's neck with your legs like that, hanging from a pipe. Anyway, Fuzzy, he's dead now. And Times is like, doesn't seem to care. Like, oh, well, whatever.
Yeah, Truck seems to be more upset about it, because Truck goes,
man, I'm sorry I had to kill your boy, your best friend. Times is...
And you ever, look, we haven't really, I'm going to say, Truck always talks like this.
He does have a weird voice, yeah. He tries to talk all
Square,
deep.
I'm really sorry, but it had to go down that way. There was no bringing Fuzzy back. He was gone.
Yeah.
And Times Square's like, whatever, dude.
Just saw my homeboy, my dad just died.
Let's go get some pussy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I howl like a wolf and hang my tongue on my mouth or some shit. So, hey, number 5 didn't explode on you.
This 5th beer I opened did not explode everywhere. All right.
So, Truck and, like I said, Truck and Times leave the building. They emerge on the rooftop. They see Buffalo's dead body. Here, Licorice comes running up to him out of nowhere.
Yeah, Licorice is out on the rooftop now. He's like, hey, guys, what's up?
They make sure Licorice is not a vampire, and then they ask him if he's seen Stasia, and he's like, oh, yeah, that bitch, she came out and she took off now that way, motherfucker. She got knocked the fuck out.
Man, you do it really bad.
Yeah, well, I'm getting a little congested, and I can't really do it.
Hey, I can't do any better, though. So I'm not going to tell you to stop. Keep doing it.
So Truck tells them that there are more of them out there apparently now. So apparently there's more than just the ones we saw. What? How? Yeah, I don't know.
How would there be more vampires out there?
Unless there's like previous people they've turned, like, because Cryptz has been around for, and I guess they're saying there's people that have come there, they've turned to vampires, and they've sent them out into the wild.
Well, here's something about vampire lore. Let's imagine this might come up later, but Kulata, whatever, she seemed to be the head vampire, right? At least appeared to be the head vampire.
Are you going with the lore that says once the head vampire is dead, the rest of them are no longer vampires?
Correct.
Yeah, there's that main issue too. Like, again, it's just they're picking and choosing what vampire lore to go with, or they're just making up all new shitty vampire lore in this movie that makes zero sense.
Considering it's all fiction, whatever, but still at the same time, you want to try and pay homage to the history of
vampires
of the lore.
are vampires. Like you don't call something a vamp. It's like, a duck's a duck. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. These are like, it looks like, they're not, by all sense to me, they're really not vampire. Like, you don't call something a vampire that's not a vampire. You know what? Like,
you're breaking their necks and killing them. You're stabbing with metal pipes and killing them.
Yeah.
Blowing salt in their face and hurting them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a garlic salt.
And really, none of the vampires, I don't think any of them, except for like Kulai at the very opening. No, she didn't even do it. The random white dude in a pipe. He's the only one that they bit into a neck. The other one, they're just killing them, like slashing them apart, or they're doing things. They're not sucking and drinking blood. They're not. They might as well just be demons and not vampires.
Right. At
this point, so to call them vampires is kind of bullshit. Like, it should. They're not really vampires. So anyway, Truck is like, hey, this is what I've been preparing for, and this is why everybody thinks I'm so creepy, because I'm a vampire hunter.
This is why I've been doing 300 push-ups every day.
Yeah, and I do breakdancing, spinneroonies in the dark. So
in the dark.
Truck then asks Times basically to join him in his quest and become a vampire hunter with him, because he's such a good vampire. All he's done is bitch and cry and scream and
wave a femur bone back and forth.
Bitch slapped around. He's done nothing in this movie to make you think he's any type of vampire hunter.
He did kill Kulata technically.
Not really. Like,
he was the one who drove the pipe through her
was that
stomach.
Or was it the salt that killed her? Because she blew up right after he blew the salt on her.
Regardless, from Truck's experience, from what Truck has seen,
okay, he's in for
something.
a rude awakening when next time you're gonna fight. He's gonna be like, he's gonna be like, "Fuck, I made a bad decision.
This was a poor choice.
I chose poorly."
So and Licorice is in too. He's like, "Let's go, guys!"
Yeah, like, let's do it. Like,
he's like the Shaggy of the group.
Yeah, he's like, oh, fucking A.
And then we see Stasia.
Yeah, so they walk off the rooftop. They leave, and we cut to Stasia on another rooftop nearby, looking down at them.
Higher up, looking down upon them.
And she starts laughing and says, "I'll be back for you guys," and laughs and then walks away. So we cut to Time sneaking back into his bedroom through his window.
He sneaks into his own place.
Yeah, sneaks into his. Yeah, we're really weird. Like, he's a full-grown adult. Like, he's not like a curfew.
I know he's still live with his mama,
but still, like, you don't have to sneak into your own. I don't know. That's weird. But he's instantly caught by his mom, who again gives him the business for being lazy and jobless.
Ma, come on! I just got my chest ripped out by my demons,
Mom,
and my friend's dead. I had a bad night, Ma.
But at this point, I guess he's had a change of heart. He's like, all right, Ma, listen, I promise. Tomorrow I'll go get a job tomorrow. I promise.
Nothing is an eye-opener like getting your chest ripped out and your friend being turned into a demon and having to slay, basically save humankind to go get a minimum wage job.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it takes for this guy.
So she leaves and Times gets ready for bed, which apparently includes changing out one do-rag for another, which I thought that was a weird thing.
It's a sleeping do.
Sleeping do-rag, I guess. Yeah, your sleeping do.
It's his wave cap. It's the wave cap, baby.
But he's bald. He doesn't have waves.
Shit, you're right.
He's bald.
Because he always wears a wave cap. I can never tell. I mean, when he took it off, you're right. He is
bald.
bald.
But he wears a wave cap and then he takes off the wave cap and puts on a do-rag.
Why would you have a wave cap?
Exactly. You have no hair.
You just shave your head. God, we need a black guy on here. Maybe he can explain. Oh, man. That's it. We're going to get a black guest.
We even have any black listeners you want to be on the show? Heads up.
I know we have black Instagram followers.
Okay. So anyway, he changed out his wave cap for the do-rag, and he gets in the bed and places his tattoo flesh slab, which he's still carrying around with him, on his nightstand.
He does try to he's in the bathroom for a little bit, kind of
he's putting it back on,
putting it against his chest, it's not gonna stick. This isn't gonna take.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. I'll just save it for later.
He does that several times. He does that when he's locked up in the one room too.
He tries to put
it back on.
He's like, this isn't working.
So he rolls over, goes to sleep.
Yeah, he puts it on his bedside table, goes to sleep.
Yeah. The camera pans over to. Apparently, he instantly falls asleep too. The camera pans over to the flesh slab, which suddenly and for no reason ignites in this white light,
this bright, beautiful light,
and then we hear a small sizzling sound too, and then we just get blackout roll credits
with hip hop music.
Yeah,
now we have hip hop music. It's like all of a sudden, it's such a violent shift. It's like all of a sudden his tattoo starts to go light up. What the fuck's happening? And all of a sudden it's like, motherfucker, yeah, here we go with the Cryptz. It's like, and the credits are rolling. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
What the fuck is happening? What does that ending even mean? What
happened? It's just punches you in the face.
Are they really trying to set up a sequel, or are they just trying to end this as confusing and most confusing bumfuck way possible? What happened? What did we just see? Nothing makes sense about that. So anyway, that's Cryptz, guys.
Cryptz.
So
no bonus credits, no nothing like that.
No, there's nothing. Thank God. All right, so let's move on to favorite kill.
There can be only one. Favorite kill.
All right, favorite kill. This is gonna be fucking shitty this week because which neck snap do you like the most?
That's a good question. You know what? Let's just say fuck favorite kills. Let's go with favorite neck snap.
Favorite neck snap. Okay.
All right. Okay. Excuse me. My favorite neck snap is Fuzzy's. That was my favorite neck snap because he pulls himself up on the bar, gets Fuzzy between his legs, and snaps his neck with his legs like he's fucking Sonya Blade killing Kano in Mortal Kombat 1. That's my favorite neck snap.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. Yeah, Fuzzy's the best neck snap too. I don't want to do a favorite kill.
Well, did you have a favorite kill though?
They all fucking suck. If I had to pick one, it probably would have been Colada because it's the most integrated. And at that time, we're like, oh, thank God, the main bitch is dead. That means the movie's finally over. It's gonna be over, and I don't have to watch this anymore.
Well, I mean, even the pipe through the chest was not a horrible effect. I mean, they showed it. They made it a big production.
Yeah, it was the most. Yeah, I guess
if you want to do a honest, true favorite kill, it would be Culata getting stabbed.
So we're good. Favorite kill and neck snap for this week. We both agree on that.
Perfect.
All right, let's move on to the odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, ratings. IMDb gives it a 3.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, there is no official thermometer score and no audience score, but it is actually on the site, which is weird.
Interesting. So everyone hated it.
Or yeah, just didn't review it.
Didn't even want to take the time to review it.
Yeah. And then Amazon gives it a 3.6 out of 5. Plot keywords. There were only 9. So blood splatter, gore, blood, throat ripped out, nightclub, stripper, rap music, rapper, and vampire are the plot keywords.
Dude, rap music is pretty weak in this one.
Yeah.
Even rapper is even weaker.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Trivia. Not much I could really find on this. It was. I did learn. Suppose that this movie was filmed in 8 days total. It only took 8 days to film.
Wow. You know what? That's actually kind of impressive.
And also apparently this was re-released somewhere under the name Vamps in the Hood. Vamps with a Z.
Of course they did. It's a full moon feature. Of course they renamed it, re-released it, and people are like, "Oh, awesome! I love urban-minded."
Wait, haven't I already seen this movie?
Horror movies. I sure did like Cryptz. Oh wow, there's a new one. I'll watch this. God damn it, it's Cryptz again. Full Moon does that bullshit all the time.
Yeah, Vamps in the Hood. VAMPZ in the Hood. Just like, oh, by the way, Cryptz is spelled with a Z too, by the way.
Yes.
Cryptz with a Z. So that's all I got for trivia and
fucking
everything.
Full Moon doing that.
Yeah,
shit,
fucking
man.
Full Moon. But we do get to play the budget game.
Time for Aaron to blow his wad with the budget game.
You know, I have my own music I put in here during this time, right?
Y'all ready for this?
Now this is just an estimated. It's not 100% official. It's just what I've what I would pick up here and there. So take it for what it's worth.
So this is an unofficial,
unofficial, whatever.
So this could be just very much like what was the movie Krampus the Christmas Devil when it was estimated at $2 million.
I forgot about that.
And it was very much like, oh, they're laundering money for drugs or meth.
I totally forgot about that. Yes.
So we don't know exactly how legit this is. What a great way to launder money.
I forgot about that. That was hilarious at the time. Oh, God, that was funny. All right, but yeah, so take your guess at the budget for Cryptz 2002.
Okay, Full Moon feature, and Full Moon's not known to do things on a budget. However, they're still a production company. They still had, I don't know, they still had sets. They had sets. They were movie sets. They weren't. Let me put it this way: they weren't pork chop filming in the woods. They weren't.
No, but at the same time, their sets are basically one location, like.
Sure. $70,000.
$70,000. All right. Actual budget for 2002 Cryptz. You blew your wad, buddy.
Really?
$25,000.
Wow. Okay. Well,
estimated budget.
It's not a huge blow.
No.
You know, it's hard with these.
I know.
Indies. These indies are tough. Indies are tough.
Indies are tough.
You know what? To be pretty honest, I think if I come within $30,000, like yes, I blew my wad this time, but I think if I come within $30,000 on some of these,
I don't know, because
budgets,
that's in the low budget. That's a big gap, though. I mean, if you say, example again, I'll say pork chop was $3,000, and you guessed, I guessed $27,000, and it was $3,000. That's not really a win. That's a giant gap. You got to look in perspective. Now, if you're talking like See No Evil was a big one, like, it had a $15 million budget, and you guessed, $10 million. That's a little more, that makes more sense. But you can't say
we got to come up with a guide.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like such a piece of shit every week.
Yeah, but on the rare chance when you do get closer and get it, then that's more impressive.
That's like 3 times a year. Because again, I do not look up any of these. I do not look up any of these results. I don't look anything ahead. That's why Marshall knows all the budgetary stuff, all the background stuff, because I don't look at any of that crap.
All right, so maybe we'll come up with something in the future. But for in the
give me something so I don't feel like such a bum.
I'll try to figure something out.
Every day I feel like that.
Well, you're not getting this one. You're not getting this one. But maybe in the future we'll come up with something. All right, let's move on to 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
All right.
There are 5-star reviews?
There were only 5 total reviews on Amazon.
5 total?
5 total. None of them are 5-star reviews.
Oh, poor Cryptz.
3 of them were 4-star reviews, and 2 are 3-star reviews. So they didn't even have a 1-star review, which
or
blows
5-star.
Blew my mind. And of those, none of those are worth reading. However, I looked at IMDb, and IMDb has a 10 out of 10 review for this movie.
Ooh.
I wrote down 2. I'm going to read from IMDb. 10 out of 10 from The Creeper writes, I have noticed that a lot of people have been giving this film rather rude remarks. I can't see why. This film is without a doubt one of the better Full Moon movies. I've always been a Full Moon Pictures fan and have seen almost every movie from them. This one is great. What made the film most interesting is that it tended to drift away from the usual gore is great motto that horror films use these days are made of. Look, I'm not saying it's rated PG. I'm just saying there was more to it. Also, this film succeeded in trying good effects. How could someone criticize the acting? The acting was rather normal. Not bad or anything. Normal. The film has thrills of the Full Moon Pictures as well as the acting and plot to the newer ones. I would recommend this to any horror movie fan, an easy 9 out of 10. But yet he gives it a 10 out of 10 in review.
An easy 9 out of 10.
An easy 9. And lastly, this one's out. That Zuv MB. ZUVEMBIE. Zuv MB number 1 from MARK 97. He writes, I think that Zuv MB number 1 is awesome. She's scary as all hell. I just thought the movie was alright until those hooded creatures showed up, and that's when I thought the movie got good. Props to the actress Julia Marchesi for doing such a great job. That's his review. I'm like,
well, if
what?
someone's a friend with that lady.
I'm like, what? First of all, Zuvembi, is that what the hooded people are supposed to be? A Zuvembi?
Like a zombie vampire?
Or Zuvembi? Or
interesting.
I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to be.
So are they zombie vampires?
Yeah, or like, and if that's the case, number 1, or there's supposed to be more than one of them because we never see. All we see is one.
Nope.
And this guy saying it was played by a girl, and the one we saw clearly looked like the dude bartender.
Or a really ugly woman.
Very. I have no idea what's
very
going on with that
handsome
review.
woman.
But anyway, fuck it. We spent more time with this movie than this movie deserves. So let's wrap this shit up. Aaron, give me your final thoughts.
I'm assuming our podcast is longer than the movie. The movie
yes, it is.
It is. Hour 17. This honestly felt like a long episode of a TV show. This did not feel like a movie. And it even ended, it didn't feel like the end of a movie. I got a question. You may have done the research. I did not. Is there a Cryptz 2?
Not that I'm aware of. I have not seen anything about Cryptz 2.
Okay, so it felt like, obviously they ended on a note of a sequel. They ended on the note of, here's Truck in Times Square and Licorice, and they're going to go off and fight the zombies. The vampires, they're going to keep going, and you have Stasia, she's going to be the antagonist, and it seems like it's set up for a sequel. And it's a short movie. It's only an hour, 17 minutes. It feels like a long episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with new, it basically felt like a Buffy episode with a little bit more tits and not even more gore. There's more gore in a fucking Buffy episode just with tits. A Buffy episode with tits. That's what it felt like. But they didn't follow through with anything other than that. There were times I kind of giggled, times I kind of laughed. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to say so bad it's scary.
I can't believe you said you even giggled and laughed at
this. There were times I giggled, there were times I laughed. I mean, honestly, but it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like an episode.
Okay.
I felt like an episode for
it's actually
something.
kind of a good way to look at it because I kind of feel to say that's a good way to.
I was waiting for Netflix to say, countdown 5, 4, 3, 2.
Next episode of
Cryptz. The next episode.
I agree. I'm not going to go. This movie is so bad it's scary to me. This movie was just a garbage heap of awful. I really don't think there's anything redeeming about it. I don't think I got any humor or any enjoyment out of this movie.
Are you kidding? There was no humor for you whatsoever?
Not really.
They were trying to shove humor down your throat.
Yeah, but it failed the entire time. It wasn't humor to me. I hated every minute of it. It was not funny.
But you understand there was humor attempts.
Just because it's humor attempts doesn't mean it's humorous. Like, there's... Like,
if I go to see a shitty comedian, I understand they're trying to be funny. They were trying to be funny.
But trying to be doesn't make something so. Like, I could try to be an NBA player, but I am not going to be an NBA player.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, so... I mean, I could try to be a gigolo, but I ain't gonna be like. There's no like trying here is not. There's no trying doesn't make it so, you know. Like Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. You know, and that's I think a perfect way to look at this movie.
Did you find anything funny?
No.
Oh.
The only the Anthrax line was the best attempt at humor, but even then I didn't chuckle or laugh, and I was like, okay.
I chuckled at that.
I thought to me this was a complete waste of time. I say avoid it at all costs. So bad it's scary. I'm not even gonna waste any more time on talk about it.
Have we had any Black History movies that we've done that have been so bad it's good?
That's a good question, and I don't think so. I really don't think we've had any.
So really quick, out of Hala 2, Killjoy, and
Trapdoor,
and
Cryptz,
which one is your favorite?
Oh, Jesus.
Killjoy, Hala 2, Trapdoor, Cryptz. I know which mine is.
Which was this one?
Trapdoor.
Oh, Trapdoor.
And the only reason I love Trapdoor is because it's crazy.
Yeah. And we were used to
episode 45.
That was when we were notorious. Like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever
seen.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
But man,
but after listening to our episode, holy shit, is it hilarious?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm probably right there with you. I'd probably say Trapdoor too. And it's bad. It's so bad.
Awful.
But it's probably I'm probably there with you. And that's a shitty choice, man. That's a real pick or poison. Like,
dude, black filmmakers, black directors, black writers, guys. When it comes to horrors, come on. Now, don't get me wrong. There are fantastic ones that are done. One of my favorites, From Hell, the Johnny Depp movie, the recreation.
Oh, yeah, Jack the Ripper. Yeah,
yeah, that's fantastic.
That directed by a black guy?
Yeah,
oh.
It's a brother, two brothers.
Okay,
who wrote and directed.
Didn't know that.
It's fucking fabulous.
Oh no, yeah, From Hell is a great movie.
One of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah,
it's
that's a great movie.
And Get Out was awesome. That was a great movie.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Jordan Peele did that one.
So,
he's coming out with another horror movie too pretty soon.
Yeah, and he's going to be hosting Twilight Zone, the reboot of Twilight Zone. Yeah. So fucking awesome.
So it's possible. It's possible, guys.
I'm glad to see black filmmakers and black talent getting into the horror genre. But when you do a quote unquote urban minded or black inspired movie or movies, Get Out was great. We're not going to do Get Out because it was fantastic.
Well, that's like an Oscar-winning movie too.
It was. But man, there are some of them that are just so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Remember, guys, look for our bracketology bonus episode, and then keep an eye out for that. And listen to, go back and listen to our other archives in the meantime. But we'll be back in the future with another episode. So in the meantime, guys, watch more horror movies. Remember to always keep it tight.
Booyah!